there, I'm Karen McCarthy and it's time to Karen-ize. Today's Friday when we do some crafting. Before I get into the craft, I want to thank my subscribers. We met my first goal, which was 250 subscribers this week. So my next goal is 500, and I think when I reach that goal, I'm going to give away a little giveaway. Give away a little prize to someone who has made comments in the last, well, from today forward. So that's something to look forward to. We'll see what the prize will be, but let's get into today's craft. Okay, today we are doing the Magnolia Design Company's Craft Club for this month. And if you don't know about these, they're really cool. You get everything that you need in this kit. You don't have to dip into your stash. You don't have to go to the store. Everything is here. And it's a great thing for someone who doesn't have a fully stocked craft room, like I do, way too stocked actually, because I'm doing this on my dining room table today instead of down in my craft room. So let's open it up and see what's in here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I gotta move something out of the way here. My little rooster I have in the middle of my table is in the way. There we go. So the craft that we're going to make today is this little cutting board. See if I can get it up there where you can see it. It has the directions. If you've never done any of this before, everything's right here. There is the stencil or transfer, whichever you want to call it. That is called Bakery. There is the packet with your squeegee, which is what we use to apply this is, I wonder if this is ink. Yeah, this is ink instead of paste because we're doing it on muslin, or not muslin, burlap, I guess it is. So you get, sorry if it's noisy, a packet of the ink, a little squeegee. Here's a little embellishment. Is that just the cutest thing? And then the kit itself. So let's see if I can get this open without scissors. Yep. So we have the board that's already painted for us. What I like about these is I can put this craft on this side, but then on this side, I can do something else, whether it's seasonal or whatever. It's actually a dual-sided project, or can be. Then we've got the cloth, we've got the little brads, and we've got the twine. So let's go to the directions. Let me get everything out of the box and get the box out of the way. So it says cut fabric to approximately 5.5 by 7.5. So I do need scissors. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some scissors, and let's just measure this. 7.5 inches this way. It's about 7.5, so it's just a little tiny bit. And I know that we are going to be fraying the edges, so let me just take some of these out. Oh yeah, one at a time here, I guess. Well, anyway, so that's gonna be the bottom. Let's go to 5.5. I'll go a little bit over 5.5, and I'm just going to make a cut. Not very coordinated here. These are not my regular scissors for crafting. Okay, and then I'm just going to maybe, yep, okay. So that's already frayed a little bit. Just do a little bit more. And I'll fray this side. Actually, what I'm going to do, so that the fraying matches, I am going to just tear every side like that. Oh, I guess maybe I'm not. That one's not big enough to do. Okay, well, that was a good thought, but it didn't work. Fray it on all of the sides. I've got a reflection from a window to my right, so it's making it kind of hard to see the fabric here. Let's see how much more I need to fray. Okay, let's see how that's gonna fit on here. Yeah, I think that'll be that will be good. Obviously, I'm going to have to go and iron this, so I'm going to be right back with it freshly ironed. All right, so it's ironed and frayed, and the next step is you don't want to put this right on here when you're doing the transfer, because the ink could bleed through and you don't want that to happen. So I've just got some parchment paper down. Could use newspaper, whatever. I'm going to take the transfer out of the package over here off camera, so hopefully it's not so noisy. There we go. Whoops. I close it right back up. Okay, so cute. Baked fresh daily, bakery, made with love, delicious cakes, cookies, pies. This is not true of my home because we don't really eat the sweets, but okay. So it says, lay it onto something, place the sticky side of the stencil onto the fabric piece. Now when we're doing transfers on wood, we fuzz them lightly to get some lint on them so they don't stick so much to the surface, but since we're doing this on cloth, we don't have to do that. So when you're using ink or cloth, that's one less step. So I'm just going to smooth it on, make sure I've got all the air bubbles out. Then it says gently knead the ink packet before opening. Got all my fuzzies. I have overkill here because I couldn't find anything smaller to put the ink out onto. I have things in my craft room, but I didn't want to go up down the stairs. Let's see, after kneading, cutter, tear open the sample pack and apply a thin layer to the stencil, scraping off the excess with the squeegee. So I am just going to, and I'm not going to need this whole packet, so I'm going to squeeze out just some and then squish the rest back down in there. Kind of messy when it's ink. And then I can save this for something else. And you know what I did not bring, but I can use this. I did not bring a paper towel. So when you're doing this, have a paper towel or a wet rag or something like that. Nope, I'm gonna have to go wash my hands because I don't want to get this on anything. Okay, so I'm going to grab my squeegee. I'm just going to move the ink up here. You probably can't see it, but I'm just going to get a mess. There can be a mess made. I'm going to make it. I'm just going to get some on my squeegee, and I'm just going to work it through till I see that design coming up through the ink, and just keep adding ink until I've got the whole thing. Now, just be sure that you're going to the edges. When I first started out, I was notorious for not going quite to the edge, and so I had the top or side of a letter not covered. So just make sure you're going to the whole design. You want to be sure that you don't get this on your regular clothes. Now you have to heat set this for it to be really permanent, but it doesn't wash out as well as some things if you do get it on your clothing. All right, so I'm going to wipe all the extra off so I don't have a lot of goopy stuff. Making sure that I don't go onto that fabric. I got pretty close down there. Okay, and then I'm going to lift this up. I'm just making sure I didn't get any on my hands before I touch that fabric. I'm going to pull up the whole top, and then I'm going to pull it from the middle so that I don't distort it. And there we go. And I'm just going to hang this off my table. I'm going to take that transfer when we're done here, and I'm just going to take it to the sink and wash it gently. We have what we call, see, look how much that came off. So I'm going to use actually I don't have to use anything. I was going to say I was going to use the box, but let me get all these strings out of the way. I have them all over the place. All right, so next step says, promptly remove the stencil before the ink dries. Clean the stencil with cool water or gently with a disinfectant wipe front and back. Allow it to dry with the sticky side up, then place on the slick side of the backing slip for future use. Now the backing slip, I don't have a magic, or one of those black markers, because pens usually don't work on here. Let me see. Well, it is, okay. So I'm gonna write bakery on the back, and the slick side is what we're gonna put the transfer back onto. I do that for two reasons. Sometimes I pull different transfers from all kinds of things I've done in the past, and I've got a lot that are similar size and shape, and so this just tells me quickly which backer goes with which. Plus it hopefully prevents me from trying to put the transfer on the non-slick side and put it on the slick side. And then it is ready to go for another day. Okay. After your project has completely dried, you will need to heat set the design. We recommend using parchment paper as a barrier between the heat source and the design. Iron settings, medium setting, no mist. Iron front and back for 2 minutes. Heat press settings, set your machine for 300 degrees and press front and back of the fabric for 30 seconds. So I'm gonna let this dry. I could dry it with a hairdryer, but I actually want to go to the sink and wash this. So we're gonna let it dry, and then we'll go down to the craft room where my heat press is, and we will do that step. All right, so it has been heat set. It's totally dry and heat set. Next step is to fasten it to the cutting board with the upholstery tacks. Let's see if I need to, oh, my upholstery tack backs have been, they're not straight. So let's see if I can get them straight. Maybe they're supposed to be that way. Okay, they're all that way, so maybe. All right, so I'm gonna get it where I want. And yeah, I can't grab things very easily. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to have my husband do that part. I can't hold on to something that little these days, partly because of my fingernails. Let me try it on this side. Well, that one's going in a little bit better, but so you see how to do it. I'm gonna turn it off and I'll get that done and show you the next part. Okay, well, I had to go to, plan B, excuse me while I pick that up. I tried to pound one of these in with the hammer, but I'm not real good at that, and I bent it over so bad. I just took my wire cutters, cut the backs off of these, and then just hot glued everything down. I just did hot glue in the corners of the fabric and then put this over the top of that. Recommendation is you do one corner and then the opposite corner at the bottom, and then these, and that helps hold it in place. Otherwise, I don't know. I just get it moving all over. But I noticed that's what they did too. So, okay, let me see where we are. Cut approximately 36 inches of jute from the bundle. Wrap jute around mid-handle several times, leaving some excess towards the end to fasten the mini whisk. I'm not gonna cut it. Well, I guess I could. I've got my ruler here. So 36. Actually, you know what? I'm not, because if I may want it more or less than what they had. So I'm going to start with some extra here. Now, if I was in my craft room, I would probably set this in place with some hot glue, but since I'm not, I'm just going to try to hold this nice and tight, which is easier said than done. I'm not super coordinated these days. I guess it's old age, I don't know. Let me get some of this more wound off. Okay, and I'm just going to wrap it, get it really close. Move it close. Whoops, this one, there. Oh, I need like one more hand to do crafts, I think. Let me just move those down. Get it so that I like it. You can put as much or as little on as you want, because they definitely give you more than you need. Get that tightened up again. And I think that will do it. So I'm going to bring this over here and I will cut some off. And then I'm going to thread that on and tie it real quick just so I don't have to keep holding it. There we go. Now they've got it up a little higher. I think I'm going to do it the way they did. They put the thread through, where did they do it? I guess through here. Thread, twine, not thread. Oh, not working. You know what? If I would tie this off first, it would probably help. There. Now I don't have to be quite as careful. Okay. So I don't think I want it way down here. Let me just wind that up a little bit and stick it through here, I think. Yeah. So here's it when you're downstairs or when you have your glue gun with you. Put a little bit of glue here and it keeps it from separating when you're trying to do something like this. I'm gonna cut it. It's getting kind of, that might help too. Oh, guess I should have brought my glue gun up here or taken this down there. We'll get it. There we go. Okay, and now I want it kind of sideways like this. Tie it on there. I love little miniature things. I just think they're so cute. I will probably take this down to my craft room and just put a little bit of glue here and glue that down so it's not flopping all over. And then we're gonna cut it. How did they do it? Did they cut? Yeah, they had a little bit like this. Let's see what it looks like if we fray it. I may not like it and I may just cut it off, who knows. That's the cool thing about crafting, you can, yeah, no, I'm not gonna like it. So I'm just gonna cut that off, kind of short. All right, and then I brought, now this is the one thing that's not in the kit, but I love this. See if I can get it under the camera for you. This is from Ranger. Oh, Jim Holt's Distress Oxide. I think I get it at Hobby Lobby, but I think you can get it at any craft place. And I'm just going to distress the edges just a little bit, not a lot, especially since that's kind of an aged look. Then if I do this, I should have done it first. Let me move this little guy up. It just kind of makes the whole thing tied together, I think. You can do this with brown craft paint too. Just take a like a stippling brush and just stipple along the edge. Just wipe off any extra. I like the vintage look. If you don't like the vintage look, then you won't want to do this. And I might do just a little bit, a couple of places. Even on here. Just a little bit. And then I'm just going to take my paper towel and just kind of smudge that a little bit. If you don't like the vintage look, you're going to hate this part. All right, and there we go. So I will put information for my webpage in the description. And then if you're interested in joining the club, I always forget to look up the details. I think you have to be signed up for 3 months and then you can cancel if you want to. But it's a really great way to just get your hands on a few of the products. And I'm sorry, I think I was hitting the camera. A few of the products and seeing if you like it before you dive in and do some major projects. But it's so fun, and they have never sent a kit that I don't like, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, I will talk to you later and have a great weekend.